Alright everyone, we're looking at my ant farm, and I want to point your attention to this thing right there. I have no clue what it is. So let me get my magnifying glass. What is that? It's that movie. Okay, so what is it? It looks like a worm. Oh, is that a spider killing a small worm? So weird. What what in tarnation is? Oh, maybe it's a fly. Like maybe it's the larvae of a fly or something. Super weird. Okay, let me try to zoom. Where's it? It's right there. Okay, now we have a good sign. What is that? Yeah, it's a fly. Huh. I was like just chilling and watching my ant room, and I just saw like that weird worm thing, and there was some legs to it, and I was like, yo, what the hell is this thing? Yeah, I think it's a fly or something. So weird. It's like really deep underground. Oh, that's something special. Yeah, I guess it's let me see if I can find one. There's like some small flies sometimes flying around in this. Yeah, one of these things right there. My god, my zoom is very bad. Okay, yeah, it looks like one of these things. So yeah, I was like, yo, is that a worm? And it was so weird because there was like the legs and stuff. So yeah, I guess we are assisting to the emergence of of a fly. And right on top of it, there's an isopod right there. You can see the legs of the isopod. And here there's some roots. Lots and lots of roots. And here a little springtail. 2 springtail. Oh, maybe even like small creature. So yeah, the like I know it's mainly for keeping ants, but there's quite a lot of creatures going on in here. The soil is very healthy. It's packing quite a nice biodiversity, and all of this can be food for the ants. I haven't really fed any meat to the ants in a while, just because the soil is so rich that if the ants are hungry, they can eat a lot of stuff. And sometimes I guess the fly that we just spotted, I think it will be able to wiggle his way out, but if it doesn't, it will become food for anything else in here. I've seen a new millipede I placed in here, and there's still a beetle as well in there. I think it's right here actually. Yep, that's the butt of the beetle. Earlier in the summer, when I dropped those beetles in there, they would get destroyed like in a matter of seconds and minutes. But this one, I have dropped him, I think it was yesterday, and he's still alive. So as the temperature is getting colder, and as the larvae have all basically become just normal ants that don't need that much food anymore to grow, the requirement for killing insect and just eating meat and protein in the environment have very much dwindled. Um, so we are pretty much at the, not necessarily the weakest point of the colony. That would be at the very end of winter. That will be when most of the old ants will have died. And all the recent ants that have been born like in the last few months will really be useful during the spring. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to see all the biodiversity of my little ant room. The ants have started to dig their little tunnel in this ant tower. So there is quite a lot of tunneling going around here and as well as here. Let me just get the light a bit better. So yeah, you can see quite a lot of tunneling going on here and going all the way down there. And there's another tunnel right there. So yeah, the ants have been digging. We don't really use the space much as of now. What I did actually, and I will not be able to show you without opening this, and I won't do that inside my home. I know there's not a lot of ants in there, but yeah, I don't want ants crawling everywhere. But what I did is I put a lot of piece of wood and piece of dry dead leaves on top of the sand, because the gardener ants I keep, they really have the tendency to use wood in my at least in the environment I've provided them. So in this soil, some of the main spot where the ants I found them when I dig a bit is when I find big pieces of wood in here and like pull them up. This is where most of the ants are. And so you can see there's a few branches there, and eventually they will sink in the soil as the ants will start to use them. And so I decided, all right, to encourage them to use this place, I will put a few pieces of wood and structure just to make them feel safer, I guess, and have something to build around. And it have been working to attract them there. So yeah, that was a funny little, or I guess little adventure and update, and discovering a live weird fly together. I really enjoy this ant setup. There's especially like adding such a organic layer of leaves and wood and like many creatures. I really enjoy the biodiversity and the ant outworld. I know many people, including the guy who runs Ant Canada and have all these crazy big setups. He used the ant world more as a dry land for just food, and he used those things for like wetter environment where the ants are supposed to dig and live. But with my gardener ants, I've placed a lot of dirt in here because this thing was just way too small for the massive colony I had at the time. And so I decided to give them soil to build their nest in. And so although I don't see the queen and the brood and stuff that much, I'm okay with that. This have become the dry land, so there is no water or supply on it or anything. So if the ants need a dry environment in their setup, they have that. And yeah, the isopod have been growing like crazy in here. I will water the soil soon. And I even have some plants growing, so that means the soil is actually sort of like kind of wet, I guess. Not too wet, but sort of wet. There is in here an actual test tube like that somewhere, and it have been borrowed completely, but I'm wondering if the ants are actually using it. Now that would be intriguing if I ever start digging in there. Yeah, but it's very interesting to keep ants in a setup like this. Earlier on my channel, if you check some of the earlier videos of my like ant playlist, you will see I had a very different setup at first. But yeah, I prefer this. And Canada, like the price is pretty expensive for the thing they are offering. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty expensive, especially with shipment. Like shipment doubled the price, so that's pretty crazy. I cannot complain though, because all of this stuff, it's my girlfriend who got it. But for like my birthday and stuff. But yeah, all of this setup is very fun, and I think the ants really enjoy it, and the isopods certainly enjoy it as well. The isopods are growing like crazy in here. I might even be able to give a few of them to one of my friend who is growing some like very fence isopod, and I might exchange some isopod with him if he'd like to do that. So yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. This was a little update on my ant farm. So hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all pretty soon in the next one. Goodbye.